Could Peter Jackson's Kong from 2005 survive the nightmare that is Jurassic Park? Well, in today's video, we'll be finding out. We will not only be putting him through a trials in Jurassic Park, but also in Jurassic World. And in order to figure out whether or not Kong could survive, we will be pitting him against these creatures in order: Velociraptor, Triceratops, Ankylosaurus, T-Rex, Spinosaurus, and Indominus. Before we can begin with the Velociraptors, let's talk proportions. Kong from 2005 is 24 feet tall. Meanwhile, these Velociraptors are only 9 feet long, meaning that these Velociraptors can't do anything against Kong. So with little to no ease, Kong moves on. Moving on to Triceratops, they were roughly the same size as an elephant, and since Kong is twice the size of an elephant, you can imagine that Kong would be able to pretty quickly deal with just one Triceratops. And Triceratopses have been very rarely found in groups, so it's likely that it'll only be a one-on-one situation. Next up is Ankylosaurus. With its tank-like armor and the fact that it was 30 feet long, it would make it very challenging for Kong to defeat it. However, Kong will not try and bite its armor. Kong will more likely try and grab it and break its neck or something. However, these guys are unlikely to fight anyway, so Kong will probably not even engage with one. Thus, Kong moves on with most likely little to no ease. Next up, we have the T-Rex. Now, the T-Rex is basically just a smaller V-Rex, which we know that the Kong can pretty easily take out on a one-on-one situation. However, that's not to say that taking out a T-Rex will be easy for Kong. Kong will likely have to use lots of his strength and power in order to defeat the T-Rex. With mid-difficulty, Kong moves on. Now we have the Spinosaurus. However, this is no realistic Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 stands upright on its 2 legs and is significantly more violent and powerful than a real-life one. The Spino in the movies was around 20 feet tall and was around 44 feet in length, so this already is enough to rival the Kong we see in 2005. While the Spinosaurus may be able to put up a good fight, the Kong would likely be able to beat the Spinosaurus 7 times out of 10. And finally, we are left with one dinosaur, the Indominus Rex. In the film, the Indominus Rex was not fully grown, standing only at around 40 feet long, so this fight will not be as challenging as it would have been if the Indominus Rex was fully grown. So who would win? Well, the Indominus Rex is likely a little bit smarter than Kong, being able to trick humans. However, Kong is significantly stronger than the Indominus Rex physically. So Kong will likely have a challenge in beating the Indominus Rex. However, he will beat the Indominus Rex. However, before we decide whether or not Kong could survive Jurassic World and Park, we have one final combatant. This being none other than the Mosasaur. Now, the size of this guy is very confusing as it varies constantly throughout the films. However, we think it's around 110 to 120 feet long. So, if this guy gets to jump on Kong like he did with the Indominus, Kong would stand no chance. So, for our final assessment of whether or not Kong could survive Jurassic Park and World, we are going to say that he can most likely survive. This is due to the fact that he absolutely destroys nearly every dinosaur on this list, except the Mosasaur. However, that's a water dino, so it doesn't really matter that much.